And coming up on Mountain News this morning, a beloved holiday tradition tracks its way back into the mountains, bringing gifts and smiles to people throughout the region. And if you're looking to bring a real tree into your home for Christmas, well, you might have a hard time finding the perfect evergreen for you.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6 o'clock, I'm Dakota Makris. It's Monday. Thank you so much for joining us on this very cold Monday. I hope y'all are bundled up. I wish I was bundled up. I mean, could you imagine if I came on air with a blanket on? Brandon, could you just imagine how that would go down?
Yeah, I don't know if that would go down very well. I actually had this morning, and I took it off a little earlier. I had like a vest on, a zip-up vest. But it's over here close. So
well, I almost bought a heated blanket yesterday, and I don't know why I didn't.
Listen,
I might have to just order me one.
You would have needed it. You know?
Could you? Just me walking around the station with an extension cord with my blanket.
You know, I think they make them battery powered.
Do they?
Maybe something to look into.
Well, y'all let me know if you've ever seen one of those.
There you go. All right, let's take a look at this chilly forecast this morning. Go on down to London along I-75, and you'll see there again some cold air in place. 18 chilly degrees down that way this morning, and we see things are fairly quiet there on the interstate. A lot of teens out there this morning. Very few 20s. Moorhead, Jackson, Prestonsburg, Pikeville, Harlan, and Logan. That is it. Oh, and Wise. Everybody else is in the teens this morning, so more teens than not. 11 in Monticello to 25 in Logan. That is your range, and it's kind of interesting because it's basically the entire region. So you'll need a coat, you'll need a hat or toboggan, you'll need gloves, you'll need maybe even boots today if you want to keep your feet warm, rather, and then extra time to get around and a warm beverage for sure. The good news is temperatures are going to go up into the low 50s this afternoon with some sunshine. Get out there and enjoy it. Some more nice changes are coming as we head toward Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving could get a little bit rocky, especially on the other side of it. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, an Eastern Kentucky nonprofit recently received a sizable donation from an Ohio church and immediately began serving Thanksgiving meals to the communities across the region. Our Jordan Mullins has that story.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints out of Ohio brought a caravan to Eastern Kentucky on Saturday full of Thanksgiving meal staples to donate to Feeding East Kentucky.
They brought us well over 200 turkeys. They brought us all the dressing, the mashed potatoes, green beans.
Volunteers worked throughout the night to ensure meals were ready for Sunday.
We stayed in the kitchen last night till 9 o'clock preparing a lot of the veggies, and we did a lot of the prep work just to get it out today. Today we've done 700 complete meals.
Feeding East Kentucky then began delivering meals to several locations, one of those being Victorious Faith Church in Prestonsburg, saving a spot at the table for folks who are staying at Jenny Wiley State Park and are still without homes.
Instead of eating out of a styrofoam container, let's offer them a table to sit at, that they can bring their families and sit around the table and maybe talk and just have a different atmosphere than a small camper to live in or maybe a hotel room to live in.
The nonprofit is also providing meals throughout the week, inviting folks to the Christian Appalachian Project FEMA location for more free meals on Monday.
Drive up and get as many meals as you'd like. We're going to be providing meals all day long for that. So I don't foresee running out, but if we happen to run out, we'll go to the kitchen and we'll make more.
Working to ensure no one goes hungry this Thanksgiving. In Floyd County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, along with serving meals at the Christian Appalachian Project FEMA location today, Feeding East Kentucky will also be visiting several communities in Breathitt County on Tuesday. Well, people gathered at several stops in Pike County in Virginia and in Tennessee for the Santa train's 80th run during the weekend. The train made its way from Pike County and then went southbound to Kingsport, Tennessee, and it delivered $300,000 worth of toys, clothes, candy, and other holiday treats to people throughout the region. The Santa train was previously canceled in 2020 and 2021 because of the pandemic, and people tell us they were excited to see the train back on the track once again.
Growing up back home when it would come through, just the impact it had on a lot of other people, just getting to meeting the people, and then you'd see them again year after year. It's just enjoyment, and people don't realize it until they didn't have it, and now we got it back.
One family we talked with at the stop said prior to the pandemic, they never missed a Santa train since their kids were born, and they said it was great to see those traditions back again. One of Corbin's oldest holiday traditions took place during the weekend, inviting community members downtown to take part in those festivities. Our Alyssa Williams was there and has the story.
An event that has been taking place in downtown Corbin for more than 20 years.
It is Corbin's annual Christmas open house, which is the official kickoff to not only the holiday season, but the Christmas shopping season.
Various businesses and organizations set up booths or open their shops to invite people in and to encourage shopping small this season.
And we are truly blessed to have, everyone come shop us, to shop small. I know there's so many options to go shopping, and if you come in here to shop, you're actually supporting a dream.
Several organizations, like the Southeastern Kentucky Association of Native People, set up activities for kids and their families to enjoy.
We're really humbled to be able to participate and do the crafts for the kids. It's been very enjoyable today.
Those with Corbin Tourism say it is exciting to see this long-standing tradition continue for another year.
Christmas open house has been a staple in Corbin for over 20 years, and it just feels, I think it's what continues to give small towns their charm and sense of community.
Inspiring people to consider local Christmas spending to get into the Christmas spirit. In Corbin, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
The event also offered train rides for kids and their families, free gifts, and a meet and greet with Santa. Well, the Winter Wonder Camp Drive-Through Lights fundraiser in London is kicking off again this year. The Drive-Through Lights display is hosted by the J.M. Feltner 4-H camp. The event aims to raise money for camper scholarships that will help more kids attend 4-H camp next year. Event organizers say last year's event brought in 3,000 attendees and $6,000.
It's certainly a weird idea for a summer camp to do like a winter programming like this, but COVID kind of caused us to come up with some creative solutions to problems and issues, and this is one of those things that came out of it. And we had a really good time last year. People seemed to really enjoy it, so we're coming back this year, and we're adding some more event nights and more lights.
This year's special events nights will include Santa Claus, a food truck, and even a night with live music. Winter Wonder Camp will begin Thursday, December 1st. Well, you may find it a bit harder to rock around the Christmas tree this season, as many factors have led to Christmas tree shortages nationwide. An increase in tree demand paired with a nationwide drought has caused supply to be low. Well, it's no real surprise the Real Christmas Tree Board is expecting growers to increase their wholesale prices as much as 15% this season. And Kentucky tree farmer Weston Vernon says there aren't enough people like him.
There's not a lot of people getting into this business, and there's more getting out of the business. A lot of tree growers are older farmers, and they're retiring, and so you're seeing a shortage in this industry as far as growers go.
Well, he says to act fast this year since supply is so low. Major retailers say their supply chains are finally almost back to normal operations just in time for Black Friday. Walmart says it secured additional inventory of products popular for the holidays, from electronics to home appliances. Well, the same is true over at Target, where, in reversal from 1 year ago, the retailer is able to roll out deep holiday discounts once again. The empty shelves some stores had during the last 2 holiday seasons may be a thing in the past. Retailers say demand will be the main constraint on sales this season, not, as it has been, the availability of products. And the weather hampered travel on what's traditionally one of the busiest weekends of the year. Demand overall has increased, and airlines are trying to prevent the cancellation chaos of last Thanksgiving by adding more pilots and adjusting schedules. But the crowds aren't the only thing frustrating some flyers. The price of an airline ticket has jumped 43% from 1 year ago.
Used all my points, and it was around $670. Without my points, it would have been well over $1,000.
The majority of Americans are skipping the skies by taking road trips, but filling up is still costing about 30 cents a gallon more than 1 year ago. Now, AAA says the busiest time on the roads will be this Wednesday afternoon as millions try to make it in time for a Thanksgiving meal. And this is a reminder for people affected by flooding in late July. The remaining disaster recovery centers in our region will be closing at the end of the day on Tuesday. Those centers are located at the Breathitt County Library in Jackson, the Knott County Sportsplex in Liburn, Letcher County Recreation Center in Whitesburg, and Hazard Community and Technical College here in Hazard.
.610 on this frigid Monday morning as we start Thanksgiving week. It is going to be on a cold note, so it's just like kind of defrosting your turkey. It's going to be one of those situations where you don't want to put it outside this morning because it's going to get frozen again if you've already started that unthawing process. 23 in Jackson, 23 in Pikeville, 24 in Prestonsburg, 25 is the warmest spot in the region there in Logan. A lot of teens out there this morning, and 11 in Monticello is the coldest spot. We've got 15 right behind them in Irvin and in Clintwood this morning. Dew points are in the teens and single digits, which it's attributing to our dry air out there. I bet a lot of you noticed it this weekend on your hands and your unprotected skin surfaces if you've been outside for quite a bit, even though it was fairly nice both days this weekend. It's going to be a cold start to a very mild day. Temperatures will top out in the 50s with sunshine heading into the afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. 6:11. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, federal and state authorities search for a motive that led to a deadly shooting at a Colorado nightclub.